Unfortunately, many people are delayed, so that's why we're waiting a bit, and still many are missing. So I think still we will start now. We also have the live stream running in parallel. That's why I think you cannot stand there because this is the live stream. So Ashif, if someone is standing in front of the camera, please tell that we have, because many people decide not to come here but to listen from the live stream. So, but first of all, very happy to have you all here to our first event of IXX here in Dubai. We are going to repeat this kind of event regularly because there are a lot of great speakers when it comes to artificial intelligence. So this is our first event today, and we will do it every 6 to 8 weeks. We are going to repeat this, so every one of you who likes artificial intelligence, who wants to learn more about the topic, you are very welcome to join us here also in the future. So before we start with our event, I want to say a few words about IXX. I don't know if you are all familiar with IXX already. So the event today is called Transform Tomorrow Today. So this is basically the motto of AI. There are a lot of great things coming in the future, and in our events, we want to give you a bit of a taste what is going to happen in the future with artificial intelligence. So I hope this works. Yes, it does. So we have 3 great speakers today. One of them is Dr. Anshuman Ghosh. He's, where is he? Ah, there he is, because before he was standing there. So he will talk about strategies for business leaders. He has a long experience in artificial intelligence. I will say a few words more about him in a second. Then we have Dr. Shuk Hussain, who will talk about regulation in artificial intelligence. So her speech is called Regulate to Innovate. And then we have Shabel Makhul. He's from Canon, and I listened a speech of him some weeks ago, which was really, really impressive. So he will talk about all the changes AI will bring to the medical world. And I can promise you it's a really, really great speech because there are, especially in healthcare, many, many things happening. And then afterwards, we will have a panel discussion with Andrea and Amar. They are sitting there. And also with him, sorry. So the 3 of them, I will ask some questions about the usage of AI in nowadays world, in the business world. And I hope, or I'm sure, we will have a great discussion together. So, as I said, a few words about IXX. IXX, basically, we want to help the business world to understand artificial intelligence better. Because what we are observing is many people, or more or less everyone, is talking about AI. But if you look into companies, there are very few AI or very few processes already changed with artificial intelligence. So in other words, there's a huge potential for companies, and it doesn't matter from which industry, to implement AI in their processes. And this is basically where IXX wants to help. So we are a platform of a lot of AI experts from many, many different countries and from many, many different areas. In the moment, we have more than 200 experts on our platform, and all these experts can be booked by companies for their individual problems. And with many of those experts, we are currently recording e-courses, so learning courses,
which companies can download, which individual can download about a lot of different areas in AI. In the moment, we have 22 courses on our platform, but in the next weeks, this will be 50, and by end of the year, at least 100 courses, which we are going to have. And this is basically what we offer companies. So on the one hand, education, all our courses, all our experts. The experts can also be booked as trainers for companies so that we deliver education in AI. But also consultancy, so that we have experts which can be booked as consultants for whatever problem companies have in artificial intelligence. We do operational support. We have as I said, variety of resources, and we want to create a great community of AI interested people from all over the world. And this is basically the start today, our first event here in Dubai, and this we want to do more and more often in the future. So as I've already said, we have courses, we have consultants. What we also have, and this you find on our website, we have a so-called AI tool scout. There are in the moment more than 2,500 AI tools on this platform, which you can see, which you can understand, and all these tools are described, and it is a great help for everyone who likes AI tools and want to find more tools. They are all on the AI tool scout. And then we also have a newsletter, so twice per week you get great information about the market in artificial intelligence. So in order to get all this, you should scan this QR code for IXX. Here you come on our website. We also have a really great YouTube channel where we regularly do podcasts with a lot of experts. Most of the experts talking today, you will also find on our YouTube channel. We have a very active presence on LinkedIn. So if you are interested in AI, you get a lot of information from IXX if you scan those QR codes. What we also have, and this is what I briefly want to talk about, we also have to have a B2B approach for companies. So if you are from any company and you have the feeling that artificial intelligence could be implemented stronger in your company, then we would like to be your partner. We would like to help you with the implementation of artificial intelligence, and this is our B2B AI digital transformation. So what are we offering here? As I said, we are a huge community of AI experts. They have a lot of many years of AI experience. Also, AI is not the oldest area yet. We have people from many different areas, so we understand the technology. We understand the technology in many different areas, and this is what we want to help you with. We don't come with, when we do AI projects, we don't want to implement everything at once, but we always do this slice by slice so that the companies we are working for understand perfectly what we want to implement. We basically have two offerings for companies. The first part is an online transformation. This starts with a short analysis. So we basically look at everything what your company is doing and analyze where can AI help you. So we look in the accounting department, we look in marketing, we look in sales, we look in procurement, supply chain management, finance. So in all the different departments, see how is the company working in the moment, what potential artificial intelligence could bring. And then in the second step, we help with the transformation of AI into the different processes. But what we also offer is the online academy. So if you already know, I want to learn more about AI in procurement or more AI in finance, then you will find courses on our platform, which you can download and watch directly. We also have subscription models where you can book the whole platform. So whatever education you look for, when it comes to artificial intelligence, you will find the right information on our platform. Well, this is basically what IXX is offering. So if you are interested, as I said, scan the QR code, talk with us after the event. So we would be very happy to become your partner for the AI transformation in your company. This is all the courses we have, so just a small extract, as you can see. So we have many, many trainers from a lot of different countries and about lots of different topics. So this is from my side for the beginning. Again, very happy to have you all here. And now we will start with the first talk, strategies for business leaders from Dr. Anshuman Ghosh. Thank you. I think you will need this one.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Very happy to be here and very happy that so many of you have come physically for the event. So, yeah. So as Mark said, I'm very happy to be here. We already did a podcast. I hope that went pretty well. And today I'm here delivering this keynote talk on strategies for business leaders for AI. So a little bit about myself, and before that the agenda. So it will be a short session, so I'll try to keep it very brief, but I make sure that you all take away some key takeaways which you can use either in your personal life or probably in your companies. So we'll have a bit of introduction, and then I'll talk a bit about AI strategy, right? When you all are probably leading a different business function or AI in different companies, so how do you look at a strategic level rather than just looking at technical or just one project or one thing at a time? And then I'll of course talk about a lot of AI application on different functional areas, from generative AI to maybe some application in finance, some applications maybe in marketing or sales, something like that. And towards the end, probably we'll keep some time for Q&A. So with that, let's get started. So briefly about me, more than 15 years in the corporate world, worked for a lot of Fortune 100 companies. I hope many of those companies you probably know or even love. So I think everybody probably loves Disney if you are watching the Marvel movies or the Disney shows and all of that. So worked quite for some time for Disney. Then I was also instrumental in setting up the R&D center for Sony in India. So Sony R&D was part of, and as part of that, we developed a lot of AI application that was implemented for different Sony tool. And as you know, Sony is one of the leading tech company, and also electronics and TV and so many things Sony has, as well as into media and movies. And also Target, those of you who have been to US, you know that Target is one of the largest retail company in US. And I've been also to in Singapore working for a company called Grab. So if you visit Singapore, they're the leading ride sharing, food delivery, payment services, and have given probably 100 plus talks across different institutes and conferences, and have got a lot of awards as well. So that's briefly about me. Briefly about my company before we get into the strategies for AI discussion. So we are basically an AI company, right? I think Mark and his team is doing fantastic work in evangelizing AI and teaching people courses, a lot of things. Our approach is a bit different. We have a platform where we have ready to use AI tool, right? So a lot of you probably are interested in AI, you're learning about AI, but after that you want to practically implement it, right? And that's why many times we face challenges, because AI is costly, right? You need resources, you need compute, you need GPUs, and even after that you hire a bunch of people or consultant, it takes you time, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, right? So it takes time, effort, and money. So while I worked at the corporate, I realized everybody wants to use AI. That's not a question anymore, right? I don't think you all put effort to come here if you thought AI is useless, right? You all think it is useful, so you are here. Now next question will be, how do you use it, right? And then it is a complicated process, because you have to learn math, statistics, this, that, computer science, cloud platform, so many things. So the reason we created the company, and Minerva, by the way, probably a lot of you already know, is one of the most important goddess in the Roman civilization. She is the goddess of wisdom and knowledge, right? And we are creating a platform where we can use artificial intelligence with the click of a button, and I'll show you probably towards the end, so you'll realize how, right? So our idea or philosophy is that how do we democratize AI, so that those who have the interest, either individually or as a corporate, to use AI, they don't have to wait or spend a lot of money. They can just go log in, click, and done, right? Like you're using a smartphone or app. How do we make AI like that? And kind of services we already have are in the areas of generative AI, conversational, then forecasting, customer analytics, geospatial, and personalization. I'll talk about a little bit probably throughout the presentation. Now, before I start the discussion, a quiz, right? All of you can look at the screen. So either 1, 2, or 3 of these images are real, right? So you have to tell which 1, 2, or 3 images are real. It can be 3, 2, or 1. So which ones are the real ones? Left one? A is the one? Middle one? Right one? None of them? Why? So whoever said A, why A? Oh, I am real, rest all not? Okay. And why do you think so? But photo can be real. If I take your photo, you don't become unreal, isn't it? Like they are taking photo, that's also real, isn't it? Okay, so all these are created by AI, right? Probably all of you are very smart, so some of you could detect. But most of the session I do, people will identify at least one of them as real, right? Because as a human, we probably detect faces, but if you observe carefully, it's very difficult to detect, right? And if you are able to detect today, I can guarantee you after 2, 3, 5 years, you won't be able to tell if something is AI created or human created, right? And maybe somebody will give a speech like this, and you won't be able to tell that is real or artificial. Cool. Before we get into the strategy for AI, I want to set the context a little bit. I think all of you are interested in AI, but maybe you have different degrees of knowledge about it, right? And when you talk about AI, some people today think AI is just ChatGPT, right? So I want to break the myth that AI is not just ChatGPT, right? So AI is much broader than it, right? And as Mark said, the term is not new. It was coined in 1940s. And in the early days of AI was any intelligence that is mimicking a human intelligence, right? So when a computer could do 2 plus 2, or when you used a calculator, that's also basic form of AI. But of course, when we're talking about AI today, probably we're talking about more advanced use cases, so generative AI, chatbots, self-driving cars, so many applications, right? But broadly, artificial intelligence is a superset, which is any intelligence which is a replication of natural intelligence, whether it is like human intelligence or animal intelligence. How if a machine can replicate it, that's AI. Out of that, there is a subset, as you can see in the diagram, machine learning, where it is some set of AI algorithm where machine learns automatically from the data without a human telling what to do, right? It's different from software engineering, because in software engineering or statistical learning, a statistician or software engineer tells what to do, step 1 to 3, right? In case of machine learning, we just feed a lot of data, system learns from it automatically and gives you a prediction or result. And out of that, there is a subset which is called deep learning, where we use deep neural network, right, which mimics the human brain. That is the neural network of the brain it tries to replicate. And out of that, there is a subset, a small one, which is generative AI. And ChatGPT is just one example of it, right? So today, of course, I'll talk a little bit about generative AI, but I'll try to give also examples of other AI, because as per if you're in an organization or using AI, there's so many things we don't know about. Because what has happened, because of ChatGPT, probably AI has got overhyped, I would say, right? But people don't know about other AI applications, right? So if you think of your business, there are a lot of business problems where AI can help, but a chatbot cannot solve that problem, right? So we'll talk about some of those, and probably you'll be able to relate to it. Now, machine learning I already talked about is one of the most important areas of AI. That's why it has become so popular last 10 years. How this works, basically, you need to have some historic data. You feed to a machine learning algorithm, it creates a model, right? So you don't have to tell it what to do, step 1, 2, 3. It will learn from the data that you are giving, and I will show you live examples also. And once the model has been trained, this process is called training. Once the model is trained, then once you have a new data, you can use that to predict. Example. So example can be, let's say you have past sales data of your company, right, or your customers, right? And if you just feed the data, it will learn the pattern, right? Seasonality, trend, price impact, and a lot of other things. And then it can predict in future that what the prices will be or what the sales will be, right? Or say weather. If you put the past weather data, it can learn the pattern and predict how the weather will be tomorrow in Dubai, and so on and so forth, right? Or take the example, for example, that you have a lot of customer, you want to understand their value, right? You don't know which customer is valuable, who is not, how to do that. And then let's say you have a lot of customers on your platform. How do you predict which customer may leave your platform? That's called churn prediction, right? So all these will be example of machine learning. And what you need to do, you have to get a lot of data, you have to feed to the model, it will learn automatically, and in the future it can predict, right, what will happen. So why it is becoming so popular now, right? As I said, the term started in 1940s, but it is getting more popular now, right? I don't think we had so many AI sessions 5, 10, 20 years back, isn't it? So why now? The biggest reason are not the AI model itself. Some of these models are old. They are created in 1980s, 90s, or 2000, right? These models are not new. But what has changed is that we have a lot of data now available, right? Thanks to the internet, social media, digitalization, right? A lot of data is getting captured. All of you are using smartphones, computers. So whatever you are doing is getting captured, right? Facebook is learning from what you are doing. Google is learning. They're customizing ad and other kind of thing, right? And every company is going through digital transformation process, right? So if you do digital transformation, what you are doing, you are going to analog to digital, and data is getting captured, right? So data availability has increased manifold, and it's going to increase further in future. Then storage and processing has become so cheap, right? There was a time, I think some of you probably have seen something like a floppy, and it used to be 1.44 MB, right? And you used to think that's a good storage. And now probably everybody has a terabyte or more of storage or hard disk or something like that. And if you go to cloud, it's kind of unlimited, right? So we don't think even our phone that we are carrying, probably the iPhone we are carrying, this has a better processor and storage than the computers which we used to use probably 20 years back. So storage and processing has become much better, much cheaper. And along with that, we have tools like R and Python, using which we can do it for free. A lot of easy to use models and platforms are also coming. And this trend, I would bet, is going to continue, because today only your computer and mobile phones are digitized. Maybe your watch is also getting digitized. But in future, probably the tables, chair, bed, refrigerator, everything around us become smart devices connected to internet. You have heard of IoT, Internet of Things, sensor, and all. And with that, you can imagine how much data we are going to have. More data we are going to have, there is more scope of analytics, data, and AI. But coming to the strategy point of view, how you should look at it is that you should not start with AI, right? That's one thing I would tell, because many companies and industries may not even have the data, right? If you don't have the data, and if you come to me and say, Anshu, you have a lot of money, you have the resources, we want to do AI, right? I would be very scared, right? And that's what is happening in many industries, right? They have not been traditionally capturing the data, or data quality is low, data governance is not there, and digital transformation has not happened. If they want to jump to AI, that's not going to happen. The way AI works, it learns from the data. If you don't have the data, AI cannot work, right? It will be garbage in, garbage out. You'll put the data is not good, you'll get bad result, you'll blame the AI model saying that, hey, AI is bullshit, it doesn't work for my company, my industry, my use case, right? So don't do that. First start with digital transformation, right? Data is your processes. Collect the data, make sure data quality is good, right? If your data quality is not good, don't jump to the next step, right? Once your data transformation has happened, that is why I put that as a foundation, then you can move to data analytics. And as part of that, some of it you are already doing. Let's say you're doing descriptive analytics, right? Say you have an Excel file, you do some calculation, average, trend, patterns, analyze the data over a period of time, etc., right? So that's where data analytics come, and there is a nice framework by Gartner which you can follow. You can start with descriptive analytics, then go to diagnostic, analyze why more something happened, then go to predictive and prescriptive and advanced AI like deep learning, generative AI, and all. Right? So move in this order. First, digital transformation, collect good quality data, then do analytics, then move towards advanced AI. Now, this is the process I would recommend, right? If you are going for AI adoption from a strategic point of view, first define smart objectives, right? And not just for AI, any project you're doing, first set the smart objective. You all probably know, but you can see the overview here: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. So you set the objective clearly, that what this project or this thing should do. Once you have done that, do data driven analysis, right? So analyze the past data, see what is working, what is not working, where I can apply AI. Then, as I said, digital transformation is very important. Once you have done, as I mentioned, you can go for traditional analytics, then the advanced AI technique like deep learning, generative AI, and all of that. And continuously improve the process and review, see where you can improve the whole thing. Now, as I mentioned, I will not delve deeper into it because we have limited time. If you are interested, read this framework by Gartner. That will help you in your analytics journey. Start with descriptive analytics, which is what happened in the past. Then analyze why something happened, that's diagnostic. Then predictive, prescriptive, I'll talk about a little bit. So during that time, I'll discuss, which is how do you predict the future? Okay, I know the past. First two are about the past, but we want to predict the future and control the future, right? That's where predictive and prescriptive comes into picture. Okay, so let's go for some applications. Again, a quiz. This one should be easy for all of you because you are in Dubai. So which are these two things, left and right? Huh? Brands. Okay, and in which location? Can you identify? Which one, left or right? Both?
Left one is Dubai Mall,
Are you sure?
or the Dubai Hills Mall.
Okay. Okay, so right one is the Dubai Mall, that's correct. Left one is Iron Orchard, that's in Singapore. So two of the cities I love, and both are the, like, two of the prominent luxury malls, best of the luxury malls in the world probably. Now, if I tell, like, you are probably running one of the shop or the entire mall, right? And every brand is selling so many products, correct? One of the key problem for each of them, which is common, right, across all the brands, is that which product, how many unit is gonna sell? Yes or no, right? And that's probably problem for everybody, or something that we all want to know, because if you don't do it well, everything else doesn't work, right? Because if you cannot predict what will sell and how many unit, rest of your planning goes for a toss, because it has problem both the ways. Because if you over predict, that is how many will sell, then you will have extra stock, you have the inventory cost, right? And then you have to give discount to get rid of the inventory. On the other hand, if you don't have the stock in the store, many a times it has happened to us also, go to the store, we want our size, and they say, oh, we have a bigger size or smaller size, your thing is not there, and as a consumer we are demanding, we move to the competition, isn't it? So one of the most important thing, I think, is the forecasting. But till that, most people are doing forecasting very manually, or at best what they're doing, they're using Excel files, some formulas and all. Especially if you have thousands of products, doing it manually is very difficult. You may have a 10-member purchasing and sales team, but if you have thousands of SKUs, they cannot go through all the data, humanly impossible, right? And that's where I think AI can play a very big role. Of course, I'll not get into detail, I'll show you a little bit demo probably later. But in this case, basically you need to do, you have to just collect your data, right? And either you can build it in-house, hire a consultant, or if you use a tool like ours, then you can just collect the data, go there, upload it, boom, that's it, done. You get the prediction immediately, right? So this is an actual example we worked with on one of the clients in the Americas, and they gave a retail data, and you can see the fluctuation. It's pretty difficult, right? It's going up and down based on so many factors, right? And if I told you to do it manually, I think it's very difficult, because sometimes going up and down. So the blue one is the actual, and the orange one is the prediction from our AI model. And you can see it's matching pretty closely. Of course, extreme spikes is not capturing, but it's getting pretty close. And I bet that any humans will find it very difficult to do, isn't it? Coming to another use case, right? Probably all of you came from different places today, right? And probably some of you took a cab. And I work for this company, by the Grab. If you visit Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, probably you would have taken their cab services. So how does it work, right? Like, or you are ordering food. Let's say here we have the Karim, right? So ordering cab or food. And it's a complex problem, because let's say at the same time, all of you started from different places. Everybody wanted to come to Opus for this event, right? And you put your location, and they have to find a cab near to you, and there can be hundreds of cab around you. So if you think about it, it's a very complex problem, right? And at the same time, if Dubai has a million people, so million people are at least few thousand are searching for cab, and there are few thousand driver around. If you want to calculate all the possibilities, it's 1,000 multiplied by 1,000. Or if there are million people, then million multiplied by millions permutation combination. And out of that, you have to select the optimum. Which cab is nearest to you? Which cab will take you to this place in the shortest time or route, isn't it? It's a pretty complex problem, and you have to use AI to solve it, right? So this problem is called assignment problem, right? That people are in different locations, the drivers, and restaurants are in different locations. So how do we match the restaurants and the driver, isn't it? And similarly, if you're ordering cab, you're at a different location, cab is at a different location, how do we match? And if you think for one person, still you can do. But if you have to do for thousands of it, right? If you're running a company, it's a supply chain company, a logistics company, or any company, you want to deliver goods to the customers, right? And people are sitting at different places, your product is at different places. So how do you match which driver or truck will get assigned to which product, what it will carry? And not only that, once you have done the assignment problem, then you have to also find the optimum route, that which road it should take. And then you have to also predict ETA. In fact, some of the best companies till they don't give ETA. They just say we'll deliver next day or deliver after 3 hours or something like that, right? So these problems are pretty complex problem, right? And AI is a very good example for that. So matching, some driver to restaurant or anything else, then planning the route, and also predicting the ETA. Let's go to another example, and this is probably, I think, more interesting. So I'll show example of this as well. So this probably have already used, right? So you have used, I guess, ChatGPT. So I'll not talk about ChatGPT, right? And you go to ChatGPT. I think if you have not used, you must use probably. I am not saying it will give you always correct answer, but it is very useful because there are lot of knowledge, and you can learn a lot, do things quickly. So the way this generative AI works is that personal assistant. For example, you can go there, ask question, and get answer, right? And we have also built our own Minerva AI assistant. So if you want to do anything in Dubai, let's say you are here and you want to ask which are the good restaurants nearby, right? Which food they are serving, or how do you go from place A to place B? So any kind of question you have, or you want to learn about AI, you want to learn about data science, or you want to learn about physics, you can ask and it will give you an answer, right? It's like working as your personal assistant. Then taking it one step further, what ChatGPT cannot do is that we have a lot of our internal data. ChatGPT, one problem is that it can hallucinate and give you wrong response. Because why that happens? Because it is pulling information from the internet, and that may not be applicable to you and your business, right? You have a particular company, and your company has launched a HR policy today, and you want to know how many leaves I can get, what is the increment I'm going to get, etc. Right? So that answer has to come from that particular document, right? So you need an AI which can now read your document, understand the detail, and now you can ask questions so that you can get answer from that particular document. Or let's say my friend Kunal is here, he's working in finance, right? And in finance, you have a financial document, balance sheet or P&L. But that's not like a text document, isn't it? Because that has a structure, that has number, that has rows and columns. You cannot just put a number and say it is close to another number, so they are related. No, it's not like that, right? Liability has a meaning there. Asset has a meaning there, right? Cash flow has a meaning there. So you have to understand finance, you have to understand number, and a lot of calculation may be involved. So if you have a financial document, and I told you there is a tool where you can upload the financial document, you don't have to learn anything about finance. You just upload it, it will learn from it. You can ask it any question, tell it to do calculation also, and tell it to also suggest, is it a good company to invest, right? I think that will, make our life very easy, isn't it? How much do you have more time, or we're running out?
I think we are pretty much running out.
Okay, so couple of minutes we can use or not? Possible? Okay. So then I just wanted to show them a bit of demo, because I talked about a lot of tools, but if we see, then I think that is believing. Okay, so I'll not get much time, so I'll go very quickly. So let me show one example with forecasting that I mentioned. So I told, if you have your data, now of course you can learn forecasting, take 3 months, hire people, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, $1 million, and build that tool. And I'm sure one of my friend is here, he is from Unilever. I'm sure Unilever is spend millions of dollars, hire dozens of data scientists doing it. But then if you want to do for your company, right, that's a lot of investment, time and effort. So in our platform, how does it work? I just go here, right? I have some forecasting data file. So Marinella, can you confirm where the files are? Is she there or not here? Where is the file? File. Where is the file? I need to upload that file.
Okay. The one. I'm sorry. Little break.
So how it will work is that all the heavy work we have done in the backend already, right? And the way we have made it easy for you, so that you can just get your past data. Let's say you are running an airlines company, so the past passenger data. Somebody has a FMCG or retail company that the product sales data, right? So you can just get that data, or you are working in finance, so you get past financial transaction or some data, and you just upload that. Yes. So okay, so this one I need to upload. Yes, the screen is not okay.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's back. So basically what we're just doing that, I just go into upload, I select the file, right? This has a passenger data for some airlines over the last couple of years, right, in thousands, and I just uploaded the file. It will detect the columns automatically. So I want to in the file, it has detected that month column is there, which is over a period of time, and it has also detected there's a passengers column for the airlines, right? I just selected that, and then okay, so I can say I want to do a monthly forecasting. In your case, you want to do say daily or weekly. And then I want to say for how many period I want to do the prediction. Let's say I want to do for 10 months, correct? And that's it, I click. So it's learning from the data that what are the patterns, how the things are going up or down, right? And then it is doing all the analysis, doing all the data cleaning and everything. And then it will do the prediction also. And along with that, yes, cool. So how many seconds it took? I did it live in front of you, right? So you can see it's not going down the screen. Scroll, okay, opposite, yeah. So you can see that it has already done, and I have already received the output by email. You can, you can also download here the result, the predictions, and along with that, we're also telling you that is it good or bad, right? Because you want to know is my forecasting good or bad, right? So as you can see, the gray one is the actual sales, right? Actual sales or passengers, and the purple one is the predicted from the model in the past. So we are matching it's correct or not. Pretty close the two lines, and we're also giving the future prediction that okay, so it is till June. So July, August, September, October onwards, how the sales will be. And as you can see, the pattern is quite varying because the airlines, right? Sales go up and down based on seasons and other factors. We're also giving the error, right? And you can get the prediction, how good it is, etc. Right? So I hope you got some idea how this has worked, right? Let me just quickly show one more before Mark, doesn't allow me. One more. So last one, yes. So let me show you the document one. So here you can upload any document and ask questions. So I'm just uploading a CV of a candidate who applied for job to our company, right? And you can upload a financial document, any other document. So I just clicked. So it's learning from the document that what is there. And now we can ask any questions to you. And you can prepare a question, I can ask. Yeah. So it's learning from the CV of a person. Like this is what our job as a hiring manager, many a time you have to go to hundreds of CVs, right? And you can upload all the CVs and ask question that what skills they have, what roles they'll be suitable for, and it will tell you, right? So it's still learning. So you can prepare a question or tell me. Maybe you want to know summary or what skill this person has or what role he'll be suitable for, right? How many years of experience he has. So in this particular case, he has not put it. Let's see if AI can understand that or not. Yeah. Yeah, it has learned already. So the lady asked how many years of experience, and I'll not ask full question also. Let's see if it can understand or not, because that's how we humans talk, right? We don't always give the detail. So this guy has done some projects and all, right? But our company was the first time he started working. Oops, something went wrong. What went wrong? One second. Sorry for the technical glitch. Hope the internet is there. Yeah. So and as I had shown my this thing, okay, so let's see. It has changed now. I hope it runs. Internet, I hope is okay. So now it's working. So I first asked a simple question just to start. So summary, right? Summary it came, and then you asked how many years of experience. Let's see. So as you can see in the summary, this guy has a lot of projects and all he has done. All that thing has been found. So you can see the answer here. So the document, and that's what we want, right? If you want ChatGPT, it may hallucinate because it can fetch information from the internet. But in our practical official use case, whatever is there in the document, based on that you have to answer, right? So it says clearly the document doesn't specify the number of years of experience. However, he has done some project and role from this date to this date, right? Any last question anybody want to ask before we close? Maybe. Huh? He's selected or not? Okay. So I can ask which role he is suitable for. Yeah, he was selected. Which role he is suitable for, right? As a hiring manager, this is what many a times we are trying to do, right? Because a lot of skills may be there, but it's a matchmaking that you have to do, right? You may have multiple roles. This guy has certain skill. So, and we have also made sure it gives you the explanation, right? Just not the answer, right? So you can read it yourself. So it's saying that he's suitable for web development because he has done MAN stack. Those of you who are in IT will understand, right? So he has JavaScript and he's giving the explanation, what skills he has and why the AI is giving that particular answer, right? Now, if you think about it, it's a pretty complicated question, right? You have many roles, hundreds of possible roles and hundreds of possible applicants. So how do you match? That's what I think we spend a lot of time doing every day, isn't it? And similar thing we can do with the financial document, any other document. Just upload, AI will get trained, you can ask questions, right? So a lot of time is spent reading document, email, and all that. I think with this kind of AI, it can be, you can do it in a few seconds without anybody knowing. You can save the time and effort. So with that, I'll end my presentation. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Mark, for having me.
Thank you very much. Are there any more questions for him? There's a question.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I work with two major fashion brands.
Okay.
So brand A having an inventory performance of 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So brand B having an inventory performance of 80%.
Correct.
So the competitor having an inventory performance of 90% at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So which is Sara.
Mm.
I think you are familiar with it.
Yeah.
My question is, how you will be integrating the external data when you are forecasting demand planning? Okay.
Correct.
You are forecasting the demand.
Correct.
So that is quite challenging for us.
Correct. So that's a very good question. And I work for Target, which is also retail company. Same issue happened. We worked with a lot of brands. Example that I showed today, this particular one may have a limitation because this one is giving just the past data, your data, right? Like you are just giving my product list and what sales I had. Based on that, it is doing the prediction. So you have another which I could not show because of limited time. In that case, that is called multivariate forecasting, right? So in your case, you have to use a multivariate forecasting. Means your product past sale will impact your product sale, but your computer product sale will also impact your sale. Your price will also impact your sale. Your promotion will also impact your sale, and maybe even weather and traffic, other factor in the mall may also impact the thing. Correct. So this is called multivariate forecasting. So there are multiple parameters. So what you need to do in this case, you need to get the data of this parameter over a period of time, right? And competition data, if you don't get actual also, you can get some benchmark or proxy. So when I worked at Target, we used to do some market study to get like relative, right? So the price, how they are increasing relatively instead of absolute if we don't get. And there are tools where you can get even competition data, right? And if you do some web scraping and all, if they have a website, from there also potentially you can get the data, what SKU they have put there, what is the price, what are the discount they're giving. So you need, my friend, a multivariate forecast, not univariate like the one I showed. So you need to multivariate forecast where all the different parameters that you think are important. And that's why I think AI has to work with the human. I'm not saying AI will replace human. You as a human, you know this factor, right? AI will not know. But you as a human can know those factors. You can put all this data. What AI can do, you cannot go through all these numbers, thousands of them, you will go mad if you have thousands of SKUs, isn't it? So you collect this data, make sure the data quality is good, then use multivariate forecast. We have a tool for that also. If you want, I can give you free access also. Just contact me afterwards. And then you can upload, it will give the prediction based on all the factors. You need to collect all the data together, yes. And then you have to use multivariate forecasting, not univariate. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yes.
So one more question, I think it's more related to his question. We understand that AI learns from the past data and kind of projects for the future.
Correct.
Now, past data could be limited in the sense that, for example, in terms of sales itself, we might know pricing, we might know distribution over a period of time, and then we might say, okay, going forward, next 2 years, this is what the sales would be, or this is what the trend could be.
Correct.
However, this is working with the variables that we have at hand.
Correct.
There might be certain variables which might come in as surprise factors.
Absolutely.
And which might not be there in the data.
Correct.
Example, today's date, given the last 2 years, we projected for next 1 2 years or whatever. Now there is Red Sea crisis. Or there was this war situation in the Middle East as well as, let's say, Russia and Ukraine.
Correct.
Globally, it has impacted.
Absolutely.
Given the logistics, given the shipments, etc., the distributions have suffered, the pricings, raw materials cost inflation has gone up.
Absolutely.
It has changed the dynamics which were not reported in the past data.
Past data, correct.
So in this scenario, how do we kind of account for these kind of variables?
Okay, so
It
if
may not be there in the data.
right,
Is
so
there a scope to kind of subjectively use to refine the predictions?
absolutely. So you can do that. So I think, of course, if it is an event like a COVID, then we cannot, right? But let's say there is something like a seasonality, right? Now, seasonality, in your data, you have not put, right? And you have not put the weekday effect, month effect, and all that thing. But in our system, what we also do is that we do a feature engineering before running this thing. Means that's running in the backend, right? So from your data, more features are created. Like if you have given some text data, from that I can pull some feature. If you have given only the date, from that I know this is the weekday, this is the weekday, weekend, this is the month, and etc. So that is one thing. Another thing that you can definitely adjust it, right? Based on, I'm not saying you should take the thing and use it blindly, right? And that's the human and AI has to work together. I'm not proponent saying that replace human, do with AI, right? As I told him, he knows his business more. You know your business pretty well, and you are reading the news, getting more information. So when you have that, definitely add that data. And third and most important is that the predictions that we are making are subjective to change. And statistics also works like that, a Bayesian statistic, right? You update your prior based on the available information. So yes, as of today, I did not know this is going to happen. But what we can do is that moment it is happening, I can update it, right? So I can just put that data and refine my forecast, right? So these are the thumb things we can do. And of course, if there is an event like COVID happens, which nobody can predict, then I don't believe that AI can also predict and tell you that, when COVID is going to happen. No, so that's like you need probably some godman or some, that kind of thing. So AI is very scientific, very logical. If you have the data, it will predict from the data. If you don't have, you can put some judgment as a proxy factor. Your domain knowledge you add to that, adjust your forecast. And if you have data available or even judgment available, add it and refine your forecast. I think good enough for now. And thank you, everybody. Maybe later we'll have. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dr. Schuh. She will talk about the regulatory and ethical side of AI, because I think AI is more and more used everywhere, and regulations are a bit lacking behind. So we are very happy to have her here today to talk about this issue of artificial intelligence.
This is working. Can you take a look? This work. Perfect. Yeah. Yes, first spell participation. Yes, hello everyone. I am very happy to be here, and this is the invitation. Today I want to talk about the regulation, the AI regulation here in the UAE. Thank you very much. In the beginning, I want to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Shok Hussein from Law College. I have PhD in Civil Law from Sharjah University, and currently I am make another PhD in Information Technology Law from Edinburgh University in UK. I have many experience in teaching, and also I work on several projects related to the AI and technology and law. The first project is the law and policy of autonomous vehicle, and I'm working in Sharjah in University of Dubai. And I work on one project related to the legal personality for autonomous robots in Sharjah University, and another project related to the legal challenges of the virtual reality here in the UAE. This is a project is collaboration with Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology and Ministry of Justice, Ministry also with the RTA Road Transportation Authority and the Dubai Police. The outcomes of this is a project. I published several papers related to the law and information technology in Scopus Index Q1 and Q2 journal. We know the UAE forefront of industrial intelligence and aim to become a leader and a global leader for the artificial intelligence. Also, to achieve this is strategy, The UAE put its several strategy and several plan to achieve this is plan. The first time is the UAE strategy for artificial intelligence 2030. This is a strategy launched in 2017. This strategy aims to position the UAE as a leader national in the 2031 in the virus in the different subjects like transportation and developing AI talent and others. They issued a new artificial intelligence guidelines for the ethical. The UAE government has introduced ethical guidelines to ensure that the responsibility for the AI, and this is focusing on fairnesses, transparency, privacy and liability, and accountable for the AI. Also, the AI legislation and data protection. Here in the UAE, there is comprehensive law about the data protection, how we can protect the consumer data, how we collected this data and processing and storing this data. I think the data protection law here in the UAE is in line with the global standard for the data protection and in line with the data protection law in the European Union GDPR. Also, there is very important things here is the AI lab and regulation sandbox. Here in Dubai, the UAE has established a new lab for AI regulation sandbox. This is a partnership with Dubai Future Foundation. This is established in 2019. The main aims for this is lab or regulation lab that if any company want to invest here in the UAE and there is no regulation regulated the AI application, this is business, this is a company can propose to or recommended a new regulation or amendment for the current regulation or more classification for the current regulation. So this is very important for the business sector here. This is the regulation lab, how it will be. The company can apply the format, then can transforming this is application to the regulation use case spring. Then this is application can transforming to the UAE Cabina to take approval. Then after the discussion, this is regulation or recommendation can take the license to work here in the UAE. This is briefly about the step. In the beginning, we should the organization apply this is form, the company file, the name of the company and the age of this is company. So they should select it if it is 0 to 1. This is the industrial, what is the technology that will relate to this company, and what is the type of AI application which work on it. The primary market located, the target of this is if your service, if it is business to business, if it is business to the consumer or business to the government, so you should select it here. And it is the UAE based company or not. Then the personal information for the person, then you can continuously go to the next step. The next step is the more details about your company, more details about your recommendation for the new law or the innovation solution for the AI application. You should enter the description, your innovation solution here. Then you can you should description your innovation solution. And what is the key changes for the regulation? Maybe you need a new law for the AI application. Maybe this is application which you work on it in the UAE. There is law. There is no regulated under the UAE law. So you can ask for the new law, or you can ask for more classification for the current law, or you can ask about amendment for the existing law here in the UAE, and you should explain how this solution will affect only the UAE legislation in general, and how this is innovation solution will affect in your business, and how it will be work in line with the Dubai strategy or UAE strategy plan. And they should attach the risk management plan here. Then you can submit it your application. So this is very important for any businesses you want to set up here in the UAE, and there is no legislation that cover the AI application which will want to use it so they can go to the research lab. Also, this is table comparative between different country for the legislation in concept of the liability, privacy, and legal personality. When we talk about the liability, that means we should give the safety for the consumer. If I guarantee the safety and the privacy for the consumer, it's easy to adopt any AI application here in the UAE or another country. So how we can solve the safety and the privacy under the law? By solving the liability and data protection, how we can protect their data. Liability for European Union, there is several rules for the liability here in the European Union, but before 3 months, the European Union was launches a new comprehensive law for the AI Act, and this is regulation focused on the product liability, so the strict product liability in the European Union. About the United States, there is different regulation in the federal level and in the status level. So when we talk about liability, it's also go to the product liability rules, strict liability in the United States. When you talk about the United Arab Emirates, there is some laws regarding to the AI applications, like autonomous vehicle, like flying taxi, like another application. It is launched the new laws for some AI application, but when we talk about the liability, they are referring the liability, for the civil liability to the general rules of the civil transaction law. The civil transaction law, he covered all the liability issue in the UAE. For example, when we talk about the liability in autonomous vehicle, who is liable when autonomous vehicle causing harm for another person, we should, when we go to the Article 14 in the autonomous vehicle law here in Dubai, which is issued in 2023, that was about the civil liability, you should referring to the general rules and the civil transaction law. So that the civil transaction law, he is cover all the liability issue in the United Arab Emirates. China as also has the civil code, and they addressing the AI liability under the strict liability for the producer. Japan also, United Kingdom, the same things. About the privacy here, the European Union has a very important law, is it's called GDPR, Data Protection Regulation. GDPR is in line with the global standards for how they can protect the consumer data from and how can protect this is data from, and how we can collect it. What is the guarantee for the consumer to protect their data from processing to their storage? Also, the United Arab Emirates has also comprehensive data protection law. This is law in line with the data is the GDPR regulation. China has also personal information protection law, and the Japan also has the data protection law. I think this is country the same regulation related to the same standards of the data protection. The legal personality, this is very important here to addressing some of the problems in the liability and privacy. If the legal personality for autonomous robot, so for example, if any Yeah. For example, if the legal personality here is to be the autonomous system, he is liable for its action. So when this is AI system or any AI application causing harm for another person, he should be liable and he should be paid. This is the compensation. So this is the idea of the legal personality. Until now, there is no regulation in the around the world had recognition of the AI personality. It is not a bit. Okay. The first idea is the legal personality of autonomous system. In the basically for this is idea that in our society we have human beings like you and me and others. So this is a human beings have the legal personality to, and this is legal person give them the capacity to hold to hold the obligations and the rights. Maybe they can. This is natural person. They can work together and concluded an agreement. And through this is agreement, they're giving the legal personality for their working. So this is organized by business law as a legal personality for their business. Anything between this is two, it will call as tools or things related to the civil transaction law. So the AI it considered as a things or a tools here in the UAE. So anything related to the liability, they management as a things. So the European Union in the 2020, the European Union in the 2020. In 2017, they recommended giving the legal personality for this is tools, and it will be as a natural person. So they can giving them some rights and they can hold some obligations. But another country, they recommended to giving the legal personality to the autonomous robot as a company, so that they can enter contract, they can own property, and they can be as a legal agency or another. So that this is the two idea for giving the legal personality for autonomous. But the first one is as a natural person. The second idea is giving the legal personality as a company or as a legal entity. But the problem here is what is the potential benefit for the giving the legal personality for autonomous robot? If anyone have any idea about that, why?
Cost, saving of cost.
How? Yeah, it's economic benefit, but how we can solve cost? Do you think that this is the general aim? Yeah, for the any country want to getting the legal person for autonomous robot for the didn't hacking the innovation, so that will affect an economy. Okay, there is another idea? You have idea? Okay. The potential benefit, I will skip this is okay. But the main benefit here to getting the legal personality for autonomous robots that in the basically when this is autonomous system make harm. Let's imagine this is autonomous system as autonomous vehicle. This is autonomous vehicle maybe sometime causing harm for another person. So who should be the compensation for this is person? The keeper for the or the carrier for the autonomous vehicle. Yeah. So when we getting the legal personality for autonomous system, that means the autonomous system will pay the compensation from their financial disclosure. So that means the autonomous system, he should pay the compensation from their financial disclosure. It can be there is it's yes. And also another benefit for the getting the legal personality for autonomous system is control or obligation. They can be a part of the contract, and in the end, it will be effect for the economic transaction in the end of the. It will help to integrate the economy. Yes, but here in the UAE, we can ask here in the UAE, it is possible to giving the legal personality for autonomous system or not? Here in the UAE, it's different legal school. When we talk about other country, the other country maybe in like I can work with this. You don't. No, you can put it here. Perfect. Sorry. How many times I have? 5 minutes. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let us to ask here, it is possible to giving the legal personality for autonomous system here in Dubai. Another country like European Union or other country, the law is sorry for that. Yes, basic on the common law. So it is different legal school. When we talk about the common law system, and in the UAE it is Islamic law system. So when we talk about as it is possible to Islamic law system to take a legal personality for autonomous robot or not. Here, when I make more research and publish 3 articles about that, I'm considered that no legal prevent legislation from getting the legal personality to the AI application if we need it here in the UAE, as evidenced by the legal personality already giving to the company and business. The Islamic law giving the legal personality for some company. So there is no problem to giving the same legal personality for the autonomous robot, so that we can giving this is legal personality for autonomous robot, and they can give them the financial disclosures. They can pay the compensation for any party. About the liability. We know the liability is a very complex problem when we talk about the AI applications. Here in the UAE, the liability is covered by the civil law, civil transaction law. When we go to the civil transaction law number 5, 1958, the chapter 3 talk about the harm. And this chapter was divided the liability to this is three sections. The first one is personal liability. Anyone causing harm for another, he should pay the compensation. This is a personal liability. The second one is personality for another person. The third one is liability for others, like the animals, building, and things. So when we talk about the liability, that the AI system, we can consider the AI liability under the liability of the things, because it is like a machine, and this is machine need care to need a specific care for it. This is the general rules for the civil transaction law. The first article is 282, which talk about the personal liability. Any person done to the another, shall he pay the compensation. The article 313, which talk about the liability of the for another personal action, which is called vicarious liability. The article 316, which talk about the liability of the things. But sometimes when we ask about the autonomous system, the autonomous system, sometimes they take decision without any human interpretation and independently autonomous. So who will be the keeper for this autonomous system when they take their decision without any human help? So who will be the keeper? For example, in the autonomous vehicle, when we talk about the there is levels for the autonomy. So when we talk about the level 5, there is no driver inside the car. So when just the car and the passenger. So who will be the carrier? Who will be the keeper here for the autonomous system? So I think this is article now. It's not enough to addressing the liability challenges for any AI system, because we need another articles, or we need amendment for this articles to can addressing the liability for the sum of AI application, which is autonomously like yeah. So this is case study. I'm put it as an autonomous vehicle is a case study here. When we go to the law of number 9 to 2023 for autonomous operation Dubai, that the civil liability for damage compensation regarding to the article 14. This is article 14 referring to the civil liability to the general rules in civil transaction law. But when we go to the civil, to the general rules for the civil transaction law, we say that sometime the carrier cannot expect the action for the autonomous system. So that how we can apply the exception from the Article 353 of the Commercial Transaction Law to this type of work. So the law gives some exception for the liability if the accident causing from the force majeure or the third party acts or the passenger acts. So the carrier here, it's not liable for the damages. This is the 5 levels of the autonomous vehicle. I think the general rules of the liability in civil transaction law can cover it from 0 to the 4 level. When we talk about the 5 level, this will be faced some of the challenges to apply the same general of the civil transaction law here in the Dubai. So in my paper about the harmonizing liability to exploring the carrier responsibility, which will publish in next month in Law, Innovation and Technology Journal, I'm thinking. Yeah. 1 minute. Okay. To achieve this is called the general principle to the civil will be applied, but at the same time, the UAE civil transaction law, we can how we can apply the unexpected action as a force majeure. So this is the criteria here. I'm put it some when I'm see the AV standard for SOTIF and safety and unexpected actions to the ADSS system. So I apply this as exception for the operation liability. Is the unexpected action feasible based on the system design or testing or another? If it is yes, so the carrier he is liable. So could the unexpected action has been prevented with the reasonable measure during the design and development? If the answer for this is yes, so this is the carrier. That means he is still liable. But it is the situation. It is not non-expected so what is the situation beyond the control of those responsible for the ADS design, operation, and maintenance. So, and this is things we can talk that the carrier he is liable for his for autonomous vehicle damage. Generally, about the privacy data protection in AI system, this is the last legal challenge of the autonomous system in the UAE. We know there's in the UAE comprehensive legislation about data protection law, number 45 or 2021. This is in line with the global standards of the data protection. They give some guarantee for the consumer to protect their data from collected, processed, and the storage their data. This is the main principle of this law. The Article 5, which talk about the personal data must be processed lawfully when the purposes limitation is collected with accepted and documentally with the patient, with the consumer. Data minimization, that only the necessary data which will be collected, and the storage limitation. Personal data should be storage for no longer than necessary for the process the data, and the controller he is liable for any action unlawfully for this is data. This is the same principle.
It's a very complex topic.
Yeah.
So I think you can continue talking about this for the next hours because it's a huge area.
Yeah.
But I think you gave us a good summary. So thank you very, very much.
Welcome. Thank you. There is any question?
So our next speaker is Chabel. He will talk about the healthcare system and what kind of opportunities artificial intelligence will give us in the medical sector.
Hello.
So thank you very much for coming. He's from Canon. He is responsible for the
huge area in Canon.
Don't remind me.
I never heard this abbreviation before. It's RTMEA.
Russia,
It's
Turkey,
Russia,
Middle East,
Turkey, Middle East,
and Africa.
and Africa. So, welcome, Charbel.
Thank you, Mark.
And thank you very much for this.
So, hello, everyone. Hi. Oh, you are sleeping already? Come on. We still have 20 minutes. Can we do that? Medical and artificial intelligence. It's a little bit. So, let's see. Like that? No. Like that? No. Yes. Okay, here we go. So, we will talk a little bit today about artificial intelligence in healthcare. Who is in healthcare? Oh, he's cheating. He's the general manager of healthcare. What's your job? Sorry? In? Oh, okay, Amitabh. And Nishi-san? Okay, so. So all of us, let's say we are a potential patient, and we should know what's happening in healthcare if we go to hospitals, right? And the clinics. Am I right or wrong? Right? 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 Okay, thank you. So we will begin. I know healthcare is a little bit, it's a box, it's a black box. You don't know what's happening over there. It's not easy like the ERP systems or the HR system in which you are asked and AI will answer you. In medical, we are helping the patients. We are helping the medical in order to have better images and better results. We are helping the doctors and the technician. Even if I didn't finish my presentation today, we will probably have a second session, but I want you to understand, and I'm okay if I didn't finish it, but the target is to understand what's happening in medical because it's very important. Data. Data is everything. So why we think about artificial intelligence in medical? Because in 2018, we had 33 zettabyte. By 2025, we will arrive to 175 billion terabyte of data, and I'm talking about medical data only. In hospitals, clinic, medical sectors, MOH, MODs, all these sectors. So the data is huge. We need someone to help us by processing those data, by seeing those data. In medical, we are not creating. We are not inventing anything. I have a question. What is the difference between a good doctor and a normal doctor? I will not say bad, because all the doctors are good. What is the difference between?
I think the experience.
Experience, that's it. So in medical, the artificial intelligence is concentrating on this experience. So how am I do that? Thanks to the first session. So he explained the 3 eras of artificial intelligence, which is the machine learning, the human learning, machine learning, and the deep learning. So right now we are in the era of the deep learning. We are teaching the machine how to treat the images by sending them. I will go back one step back. The good doctor have a lot of practice. He have a lot of experience. He see more than 100,000 of images, and he knows that if this nodule have this color, then this nodule is a cancer. And if have a good border, then it's not a cancer. So all these data, we are sending it to the machines right now in order to treat it and help us. We are not replacing the doctors, and we are not replacing the radiographers. Do you agree with me? Someone should take responsibility on his decision. So first, data. Second, how AI is helping me in earlier detection. So AI is helping. How if I have a cancer patient, okay, how can I save him? But by earlier detection. When the cancer is in an advanced level, I cannot help the patient anymore because the cancer is spread everywhere in the human body. I cannot help. But if I detect it earlier, I can do radiotherapy, chemotherapy, I can do operation, I can save the patient. My target is, say it, save life. So my target is saving the patient. How? the AI looks at vast number of medical images. Why is that? Right now, the modalities are more and more advanced. We have a huge amount of images, like I told you, huge amount of data. Do you know the word CT, except you and you? Do you know the word CT? It's a computed tomography. Can you imagine how many images that CT is producing per patient? I want the numbers. How many image the CT is producing per patient? 100.
100,000?
No, not that much. Come on. It can arrive to 10,000 or 12,000 image per patient. It can begin in 100, but then they will need to do more images in order to know more result. So it can arrive 10,000, 12,000. In order to see an image, how the doctor is seeing the image? Click, click, click. I would say half second. Can you imagine he's doing that? This is where the AI come. We are doing post-processing in order to help him to read it quickly, because we have not less than 10, 15, 20, 30 patients per day, and all these need report within 24 hours, maximum 48 hours. We have in some hospitals shortage of 3-4 weeks in report because they don't have radiologists to read it. So this is where we come. AI ensures earlier diagnostic, like we said before, and this system, we accelerate the decision making by showing them. So the benefits: improve the productivity, accelerate the digital health, improve personalized care, and support the doctor's decision. Why is suddenly so relevant in healthcare? Suddenly in 2018, everyone have AI. 2017, AI was not existing, even though AI was existing in the normal sectors. But in 2018, everyone has AI. Everyone need to have AI. So in the past, what are our today challenges? Global shortage of doctors. Data is increasing. Doctors are decreasing. So we have global shortage. So the images are increasing, and we don't have doctor to interpret it, or to give us a report, or to tell us what to do. We have reduction in reimbursement. We have inefficiency in workflow due to the lack of employees, because when you have less employees, more data, more patient, the workflow is not good anymore. I need the artificial intelligence to help me by workflow, because there is step in medical. What are the solutions? We create a artificial intelligence enhanced medical solution to be a smart solution and help us by improved care delivery and access with fewer medical resources and cost. Like I can help the radiologist to read more than 10 CT images per day, or more than 100 X-ray image per day. Instead of he's reading 25, he will be reading 100. So I'm increasing the care. Smart modalities, and after this we will see what kind of smart modalities I'm talking about. The HIT enterprise imaging, and in this one I will speak a little bit about it. In the hospital, we have many silos. We have laboratory, imaging, which is the radiology, X-ray. We have the surgery department, operating room. We have a lot of systems. In the laboratory, we have laboratory information system, which is a LIS. In the hospital, we have a hospital information system. In the radiology, we have radiology information system and picture and carving. All these are different silos. And every single department have a system. What we are doing, we are consolidating and having everything in one enterprise system in order to help the patient and the hospital. And even we can install one system for many hospitals. Plus provide the data liquidity for diverse healthcare. This sentence is very important. Let's read it, all of us. It is important for radiologists to apprehend, contribute actively, and lead this new era of radiology. AI won't replace the radiologist or the technician, but together they can make a difference. There is all the doctors think that AI is replacing them. No. We cannot replace them. From a legal perspective, we need someone to take the decision. We need someone to be responsible. Like if I would say the percentage of failure of AI or doing a mistake is 0.1%, but it will happen. 0.1% mean 1 per 1,000. So if that patient is wrong or the report is wrong, done by the AI, who will be responsible? What I will say to the judge, oh, sorry, AI made a mistake. No one will be responsible. So I need the doctor to sign. He will be responsible because the AI will point on what he said and the doctor will say yes or no. Do you understand? Yes. Am I good? Yes. Thank you. So this is an example on how the machine smartly is helping the radiologist. We call it DLR, deep learning. The input is a CT. This is a CT. This is the images. If the patient is obese or patient is moving, we have something called artifact. So when the images is entering into system of deep learning, the target is to have 1, better image, 2, faster result, because time is very important as well. So better resolution, faster result. And this one, and the deep learning, in the CT, I can have the image 4 times faster. Instead of having 10 minutes, I can do it in 2 minutes and a half. I can increase the number of patients doing in the CT, and I can increase, I can help him, I can help the patient to do CT faster in order to treat him faster. This is a difference between normal CT even the normal people. The people who don't know how to read images. This is a CT images. You can see the difference. This one is produced without AI, and this one is with the deep learning reconstruction. The system is correcting me automatically with 0 click. The most important when in AI, in medical, is 0 click. This is a chest CT. And this one helped us a lot in Corona, because in Corona we have the opacity ground, JJO ground. I forgot the detail. So the COVID we can see the COVID inside this. You can see the difference between that one and that one. This one is a deep learning, and this one is the hybrid IR with long kernel. When I say long kernel, I mean the highest filter in the CT. So I can see the difference between those 2 images, and this is in the CT. Look at that. This is a hip. That one with AI, this one without AI. All these artifacts is coming from an obese patient, because when the patient is obese, I have to increase the dose. By increasing the dose to the patient, I'm giving more X-rays, which is not good. So I'm lower. In here, I have a low dose, and I'm using the AI to have better images in order for the radiologist to read it. We create something called as well global illumination in order to help the post-processing and the 3D. It's a photorealistic image, and this is the future of the imaging. From where we got this idea, all of you know the movie King Kong? Yeah. Okay, so in King Kong, it was a photorealistic image. The light is from inside to outside. Usually the light is from outside to inside. So in this one, the light is from outside, because originally we have a camera technology, and we have the best cameras worldwide, technically, and the best lens. We are using that technology, embed it into medical, and create those images to be photorealistic. So like this, I can see all the different bone. I can see the fracture in here. Over there, I can see the kidney, the 2 arteries. In here, there's the kidneys and the arteries, the aorta. It's all clear. This one has fracture in here. So some doctors in some university need a 3D printing in order to show the patient how is the fracture and how we are. So I can use this post-processing. I can use it movable. Do you know why we need it movable? Because if you have a hidden fracture in one of these bones, when we move it, we can see it. So it's for better care for the patient. I can see, and I can see if he have a pain when he's moving it, I can see where is the mini fracture in the image.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
The right side pictures, they appear to have a higher resolution
Yes.
because of AI. You
Correct.
explained it.
Correct. So
But the AI is let's say, other data from other patients. Is it possible that they show things that are not really there?
yeah, because when you have you don't have a resolution, a good resolution, you are not seeing the things, and we will see it in the next slides. You will miss the small arteries, you will miss small fracture. And this one, if it's not moving, okay, so probably there will be a small fracture over there, but the AI is helping me to see this fracture. And even in some software or in the AI, you will the system will highlight and make a circle around the fracture immediately. This one is a real is an MRI. Okay, in Canon we create something called Precise IQ Engine, and this one we increase the matrix to 1024, and this one is the old technology. Look how much I can see the contrast. I can see the surrounding of the arteries in order to say if there is calcification or not. It's a sharp anatomical detail, no additional dose. The most important is to not add the dose. There is a huge dose in the CT, huge. So I'm not adding any dose, less noise. If you notice, no noise anymore. So all this will affect the report. I can see here all the small bifurcation of the arteries. If you can see here, it's not showing correctly. Low contrast detectability, reduced calcium blooming, and isophasic uniformity. I'm not entering into details of all these wording because it's pure medical. We can have different sessions for that. This is an answer for your question. This is a hybrid. Can you see the two small arteries? Not. Look at the second one. Look at the third one. So those vessels are easy to differentiate. This is all because of AI. It's showing me the small thing which is easy to differentiate. This one is the heart, because in Canon we can do the heart in one beat. So in the CT, one circle, one beat, and I can have all the heart. We will jump a little bit to the MRI. Who knows the MRI? MRI. Okay. What's the worst nightmare in MRI? That's it, claustrophobia. So I need more time, and because I need more time, we create automatic workflows in order to help the patient to be less time. Can you imagine you are spending an MRI 1 hour 20 minutes to do cardiac MRI? We reduce that for half. We create all the tell me. Huh?
Anything for the sound?
The sound, yes. But it's the sound. It needs to be physical and software. Both of them can reduce the sound. By the way, talking about the sound, the last months, our MR colleague. So I was sleeping, and I measure my snoring. So I give it to our clinical manager, and he found out that my snore is higher than the MR. Okay, let's go back. So we create something AutoScan assist. Why AutoScan? We create AutoScan for cardio, liver, knee, spine, neuro, spine labeling, and prostate. Why auto-scanning? Do you know how much it takes to scan or to center line the organ? Sometimes it took 3-4 minutes to just center line if you want to scan the, let's say, the heart. I will ask another question. In the technician, radiographers, the people who's doing the MRI, do you know the percentage of how many radiographers in the world know how to do the protocol of cardiac? Percentage number? 10%. 1 each 11 radiographer knows how to do the cardiac. So the AI system is doing the auto scan assist. in the liver. We just put the patient, centralize it, and the system is automatically put the dots around the liver and do the exam. The radiographer is monitoring it. Prostate, same thing. The AI will put the dots, and then I will have all the scanning and the result. The knee line, same for cardio. The cardio is helping me not only by doing the protocols, but by reducing the time. Instead of 1 hour, 20 minutes, I reduce it to something around 40 minutes. Those are customer experience. Those two technologists, they are very, very, very professional, and they have all the experience in cardiac. Instead of taking 40 minutes, he said that every single protocol will take 5 to 15 minutes. The other one, he said, the time is reduced by 30, 50% of time. I know we are out of time. Give me 2 more minutes. How by reducing the time, the hospital management will be happy as well, because this time reduced from one patient, at the end of the day, the hospital can accept 20% more patients, and they can make more money as well. This is another testimonial. Okay, I will show you now how it makes a difference. So this one is a normal 1.5 with deep learning. This is the 3 Tesla. You know the difference between 1.5 and 3. MRI, you have many kinds, but the initials one are 1.5 Tesla, mean the magnet produce 1.5 Tesla. The other one, the biggest one, magnets produce 3 Tesla. This one is the difference between that image is with the artificial intelligence. I need this. In the past, I have with one series, 1 minute 45 seconds, I have this image, all granulated. In order to read it, I need to do it 10 times. NAQ mean how many time I want to. I need to repeat it 10 times, means 16 minutes 59 seconds. With the artificial intelligence, look at that. 1 minute 45 seconds, and I can have the same image. So I save more than 13 minutes for the patient. This is how AI is helping me. This is how AI is giving me better resolution. So larger pixel size, low resolution, and with a high resolution image, I have better images. This is a brain. Probably you will feel the same, but no, it's not. If I look here to those small arteries, you can see the difference between them over there. They are really readable. In here, it's not. This is a knee. Same thing around the menisca. It's clear over there with less time. Look around the arrows. And this is another knee, axial knee. I can see it better over there. If there is any leak or hemorrhage, I can see it. We finish the basic. We have something called automation platform. Automation platform is a zero-click technology, but today I will stop now. We will keep this for our next session in order to have more time for explaining about this, because here we have the future. It will be in the future we'll be concentrating on this platform in order to add more application helping the patient. Okay? Any question? One, please.
One question.
One question. Huh? Tab, I have a question. In what AI is helping the healthcare? Huh?
More efficiency,
Saving time,
more patients.
more efficiency, more patient.
It's actually saving life, because the time is actually very important.
Saving life. We are saving lives by detecting nodules, detecting early detection, better resolution, in order to read better and have better reports.
This doctor can remember only 100 cases, but AI can remember
200, 300 per day.
Is this system applicable to hospitals which are less equipped in quality equipment?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Every hospital have a different system. So if they have a lower technology, we can add the technology and artificial intelligence in order to save money, not to purchase all the new equipment.
So one question, I've read online
Yeah.
that an AI that's coming up will help the doctor to even do the animal health checks. Like when a person just goes to a doctor for an annual health check, he can just use AI in the future to say if you have any health problems at all, or if you're free of.
It will help by future.
Thorough check.
It will help. It will help by future detection. So they are working on a software or a workflow in order to know if there will be, if there is a possibility to have. How they are doing that? By sending all these data to the machines. And let's say I'm diabetic. So they will send all my history before diabetic and during the diabetes till now. So they will see what are the dots or the point or the factors in my DNA or in my body to stop because my pancreas is not working correctly. What stops the pancreas? And then they are studying all these data, send back the result. They will arrive to the point that the AI will do 90% of the doctor's job. But in my opinion, and this is a personal opinion, we will always need a doctor in order we need that face-to-face interaction. Without that face-to-face interaction, I think it's difficult. You're welcome. That's it.
Amazing development.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thanks.
Thank you.
This is yours.
Thank you very much for the speech. I think it's inspiring for all of us that there's hope in the medical sector coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will now change this a little bit to the podium discussion. There's some food standing, so please, if you want to eat something, please take. You can also take water, juices, so please help yourself. And we will basically restart in 1-2 minutes.
And the others?
So be enough.
Plug in mics for
Yeah.
Very robust person.
It's showing. Okay.
So the main cancer name
Stay in contact.
That's easy. That's easy.
What I where's your office? Noah. Because what you would like to do is
On the healthcare side,
can see some, if you explain some products, how this is working, so a bit more example.
We can do so we
Yeah, it's only about one thing or how can you type in here and what you got information. That's what I think about different things about one product. So you need to think about it. And for sure it will be changed. You see about that, let me know what you will try and do it. If you format it, that's how we say
maybe you're on LinkedIn, so you can. Whatever you want to hear history. Wherever you want. Yeah, you can say your best friend.
It's not happening the best moment for you. It's not that hard.
Yeah, today it's really good. But when I arrived like on Monday, it was so hot. And so humid as well, which is not something I'm used to.
Yeah, Monday was very hot. But today
It's really cool.
nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. It is. And I think that this event is really going to be successful the next time. Just, I think it's like September or Australia. And it's much better in September.
September it's gonna be challenging.
Really?
The temperature goes down, but they go up. So it's very hot. It's actually very. September is actually the least favorite. Because you can bear the hot weather, but the humidity is the problem. So September is just humidity.
Wow.
It's not.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, because you see the temperature and they're not that high, but then they should be killed.
We're also getting some fancy ones.
Yes.
The sitting is nice.
Yes.
An unknown territory. Yeah. Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
No, we do not have such a machine. No, sorry.
All right. You ready, guys? Do you think we have to take these? Oh, they just stay there. Okay. All right.
Just grab your food, grab your drink.
Would be maybe better if you two switch, since you'll be hosting.
Yeah, maybe it's better.
I think we should go here. Since you're looking towards us.
Okay.
Great event and great arrangement.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
So we want it to get better.
But I think whatever you do very well. I watched the videos on supply chain and there was Walmart supply chain. So much preparation, so much knowledge, quality, super. Fantastic.
Yeah, so welcome to our panel discussion. I have today 3 AI experts here, and I would like to discuss with them a bit about the perception of AI in companies. These 2 gentlemen, they are both basically working as AI consultants, so they know the world of companies very well. So maybe we start with Andrea. He's from Italy, by the way. Maybe you can start with a very short introduction about yourself, and then a bit what are you doing in companies, and how is your perception, how companies see AI, and how AI is already implemented within businesses.
Sure. Good evening, everybody. First of all, my name is Andrea, and I'm AI consultant. So what I do is I help companies integrate AI in their processes. And I do that with an expertise in learning and development. So I actually help them also manage the change, because this is one of the biggest problems when you implement AI in a company. Change management is a huge part of the process, because most of employees are not so keen to adapt to change, and that's actually key if we want to evolve the company and introduce some new technology. So when there's, as we saw in Mr. Ghosh, Dr. Ghosh presentation, digital transformation comes through change management as well. Mm-hmm. The second problem is definitely data management. Usually data is not well managed in most of the companies, especially the smallest one. And so that's the first 2 problems that we need to assess when I get to a company and we start the digital transformation process. So I would say those 2 are the main obstacles when implementing it.
Anna, maybe a few words to yourself, and then we heard about the obstacles now, but how do you see the situation in companies in general? If you take 10 random companies, how far do you think they are in the implementation of artificial intelligence? We heard a lot of innovation today. What is happening? What is coming? What is possible with AI? Where do you think companies are standing?
Great, thank you. First of all, hello everyone. My name is Amar, and strictly to your question, Mark, companies are a bit confused, I would say, because it's all about budget cuts. It's all about we have to introduce AI, we have to utilize AI any way, shape, or form without really understanding AI. AI in itself, I like to think that when internet became popular, we had like dial-up, and I would say that AI is currently the stage of dial-up. So it's still starting. There is a plethora of tools outside, so it's important to identify what tool is the tool that you need, that the company needs, and that will increase your efficiency, improve the productivity, and in the best case, also lower the costs. So the companies are searching, and the biggest issue is that a lot of tools are still paid. So in order to identify the best tools, you first need to identify the problem that they try to resolve. So as long as you have that, as long as you have that open approach and transparent approach, and really have the possibility to do active listening to the issues that the companies have, then you will be able to succeed in implementing AI and actually solving the issues that they have.
Anshuman, we had your presentation earlier, but as we as also people in the live stream, maybe you start again 2 sentences about yourself, and then you have basically your own platform, your own tool. How does this help companies in comparison to ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other AI tool which is already on the market?
Yeah, so thank you for having me, and good evening again, everyone. So I'm Dr. Anshuman. I'm the founder and CEO of Innova Technologies, and 15 plus years of experience in some of the Fortune 100 and unicorn startup companies, including Disney, Sony, Target, Grab. And as far my education goes, I did my graduation in computer science around 20 years back, and then I worked in the corporates. I did my MBA from one of the top 5 colleges in India, and I also did my PhD. Now, coming back to the second part of the question about our platform, I think some of the things, my friends already mentioned, that when you are trying to implement AI, everybody's interested, but everybody's confused. And at the same time, my friend also mentioned about time, effort, cost, right? I think it's not a question of AI or not. First point, both of them mentioned the value, right? It has to solve a problem, right? So AI that solves a problem, and that doesn't cost you, a truckload of money, effort, and time. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the ROI, right? ROI, what is the return? Return means, can it increase my revenue? Can it increase my profit? Can it save my time, effort, right? Isn't it? And when I'm trying to do that, do I need to, spend a lot of money? Do I need to spend millions of dollars, or can I do it at a very low cost, right? And I think ChatGPT has done it very well, but for chatbot, right? And if you remember my first slide, I said AI is huge. And out of AI, there is machine learning. Out of that, there is deep learning. Within deep learning, there is LLM. And ChatGPT is just one type of LLM, right? And if we look at our businesses, can chatbot just solve all our problems, right? Let's see you have a platform, right? IXX, where a lot of courses are offered, right? And people are subscribing. So if you want to predict how many courses will be sold next week, next month, that's what you need. Now, can you go to ChatGPT and ask, hey, my IXX platform, how many courses will sell over the next 3 months? ChatGPT has no clue. It will pull something from internet for some blog and try to answer, right? Second question, let's take retail or even your website example. Let's say you got a lot of learner, right? And they come to a platform and you have a lot of lectures or content available. Now, how do you match the two, right? So if all the people who join today, say, 50 people offline, probably 100 more online, and they come and register on the platform, right? And they go, everybody should get courses personalized to them. Now, maybe we have 100 courses, 1,000 courses. Every course is not relevant for everybody. So Paramita wants a particular course, Kunal wants something else. And as they start browsing, checking things, I'm able to personalize the content to them. And I'm giving example of your course, but this can be applied to everywhere, right? If I talk about e-commerce, when you go to Amazon, that happens, right? Like it can understand what you're searching, what you're clicking, keeps recommending the product. But is it happening on all the other e-commerce store? No, it's not happening. We have to go and find things so difficult. You have to search and browse. That's a very difficult process, right? So recommendation and personalization. a huge example, right? But very difficult to do because very few people have done, very few people even understand, right? I think my friend is working in retail, right? He's talked about forecasting and recommendation also. Like if you need to talk about offline retail, we go to a shop, how you shop, right? There are two ways you shop. Either you go and pick up the product, or you ask the store guy that I want something. A store guy asks you back that, madam, what do you want? Do you want red or green? Do you want this brand or that brand? What's your budget? Why they have to ask? If I've gone there, let's say I go to Starbucks, and if I like a latte, why I have to go every time to Starbucks and tell, hey, I want a latte without this sugar or something? Can't they understand my taste and preference and customize, what they're doing? So recommendation to forecasting, these are problems that ChatGPT cannot solve, right? Then you also have something like customer analytics, or for example, we have geospatial, right? Now, let's say I'm here in Dubai today at Opus at Omniyat, right? And after this event, everybody will get tired, get hungry, right? And let's say I want to have some nice, German food, or I want to have some nice Italian food, right? Where should I go, right? Or maybe I want to search based on my budget or rating. Let's say I want to find best Italian pizza places, which is within 1 kilometer from here. Won't it be wonderful, right? So we have system where we can do that because we also have got all the data about Dubai, right? All the hotel data, all the restaurant data.
So that's a lot of great use cases.
Absolutely.
Of let's say your platform or of AI in general.
Okay.
How is it according to you, Arme and Andrea, whoever wants to answer? What kind of use cases you see when it comes to AI? Can be ChatGPT, can be other tools when it goes for companies. So I'm a normal company, I produce something, I work in the same way as I've always worked, and now there's AI. What are use cases which are easy for companies to implement, which you are meeting in your daily work, which you are presenting to companies, where you help companies to implement them?
So I'll start by my area of expertise. So learning and development, but also human resources in general. Personalization. That's something that in education is key, because Einstein, the famous quote, cannot judge a fish by how it climbs a tree. Otherwise, they'll think that stupid his whole life. That's what has limited education within our whole life. And corporate training is the same. Now with AI, LMSs allow us to give personalized training to each single employee, whether the company has 10,000 employees or 5. And that's huge because, of course, it increases the efficiency of the training. It increases the retention of talents also, because, of course, if you look at my needs and try to solve them singularly and not regarding like the company as a whole, I'm way more engaged, I'm way more motivated. So you company will have a higher possibility to retain my talent. And so people are seen, people are listened to, people are developed. And so this is one of the...
Okay, it sounds great, but how is the company doing this? So let's go again back to my company. I produce some steel bars, and I want to educate all my people individually according to their strengths and weaknesses. So how do I do this? How does this work?
Well, of course, each company has different needs in terms of education, so training.
Yes.
There are different platforms on the market. So we understand what type of platform you need in terms of how many employees you have, what type of courses you want to give. And then, of course, we implement the platform. Once the platform is inside, of course, it comes with, most of the platforms come with a huge library of courses, from soft skills to also technical skills. But also you can actually create the content yourself, even without any type of experience, because these platforms allow us to create the content, create the courses ourselves. And this way we can train our people on our product, on our processes, through our expertise and our documents. Of course, the models, we need to give the data to the model, and then the courses are done.
Understood. Anna, any other use case from your side?
Yeah, definitely. One of the biggest hurdles when it comes to companies is the sensitivity of the data.
Yes.
So, yes, it's great if you think about, I'll use ChatGPT for whatever, but you are feeding your sensitive data into a model which is using that data and all other data in the world to train itself. So the question is, how much do I want to share? How much can I share? Not just legally speaking, but also ethically speaking. So you have the possibility, of course, to say I'm going to go closed source, not open source, or use an open source LLM, train it for myself, and just use it internally, which is great, but it costs. Or you can utilize AI tools to create content for your own company. Let's maybe touch into the HR. So let's say you would like to make your onboarding experience a bit better. So you can use AI to generate videos, which would be like 10 to 15 seconds long. And that is utilizing the psychological aspect of micro-learning. We all know how popular Instagram Reels are, TikTok and everything. That is all the short-form content, which is easily digestible, understandable. So you can create funny or interactive 15 seconds videos using AI to explore your onboarding and make your onboarding seamless and more fun overall. So that's maybe one of the use cases.
Yeah.
You can use it for sales. You can use it for sales training of your salespeople. But I wouldn't say that you are at the point, and maybe a small, medium company, even larger companies, where you can say, no, I'm just fully going to rely on ChatGPT, on OpenAI, on Llama, Cloud, Sonnet, because it depends on what type of data you aim to feed it. If you are going to use it with your own ideas, just to enhance that idea, maybe box it up, make it more beautiful, great. But I wouldn't say, oh no, I'm going to fill out all of my sensitive data, all of my documentation, upload it, and say, okay, create something out of this. You need to be wary of the potential repercussions. Sharing that data, even you as a normal employee in the company, depending on your position, you have several authorities, or you have the possibility to use the data or see the data. It's very important.
I think the data protection point is
not just that,
one of
but
the most
exactly.
important point, and also a point
Yes.
where many companies are saying, well, we better don't use AI because we don't know what happens to our data. How can this be solved from the technical point of view? I mean, I'm a company. I want to get analysis out of my data because there's a lot of knowledge inside, a lot of power inside. I want to do this. So how can I do this without losing my data?
Well, you can definitely go for an open source LLM, close it out into your own environment, train it for your own things, not just fully like from the ground up training. It's unnecessary. It's very cost inducing, and then use it internally. We already have several of those. For example, Cambridge is using one of those closed LLMs for their internal needs, which is perfect. And then other companies are also starting to build upon it. And that is one of the use cases where you can say, okay, I have my in-house ChatGPT, Mark GPT, and that's what you are using, and you are feeding that data because that data is not going outside. It's your internal.
Andrea, when you are working for companies as a consultant, in which areas are you mostly, which areas they mostly ask you to help them in? Is it more on marketing, on sales, on procurement, on finance, or which are the areas you think are the most wanted when it comes to AI in companies?
I would say marketing is one of the first areas they ask me about, just because I do target small companies.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes marketing, they don't have the budgets to invest in big marketing teams, content creation, social media management, all they would like to do. So I help them, in terms of cost, in terms of resources. They don't need to hire. And so that would be the first area. Second area, of course, human resources, because again, AI makes it more personalized and makes the talent acquisition, also the onboarding, as Amar was saying, very easy, and makes things more approachable, more easy to get in terms of few resources to allocate. So those are the two main areas. But of course, then operations is huge because there are many things. But I would say that most of my projects focus on something that the entrepreneur never asks. Because when we map the processes, I can understand some things, some phases that can be automated or substituted by AI, and they don't even know it. So I would say the real need at the beginning is education, because you need to know where AI can actually impact your business. And then, of course, there's transformation.
And the people working in those companies, are they afraid of you? Are they afraid that you are now bringing AI and they lose their job? Or are they happy that you are coming?
The ones who don't take the decisions are, I would say, 80% afraid, because of course AI, as we saw it tonight, has some bad reputation in terms of replacing jobs. But that's not what we're trying to do.
No, of course not. Yeah,
and so
that's the fear.
that when I started, I said that change management is huge whenever we touch AI, whenever we touch digital transformation. And change management is what takes those afraid people to use AI in their daily job and actually cheer for AI, because they can work on what's really valuable. And I think that's what we should focus on for the future, because that's what the humans can do that AI can't. And so as we saw at the beginning, you can train AI to go from point A to point B. You can add variables. We saw the retail example with different variables. You can train AI the more specific models, but it will never come up and tell you, why don't you do that? There's COVID. Sales go down. We can actually ask AI what's going to happen, but AI will not tell you, why don't you deliver those pizzas if you're a restaurant, because that's the creativity that AI doesn't have. And that's where humans should focus and should actually spend more time to create more value.
According to questionnaires of many organizations about the usage of AI in companies, there are only about 25, 30, it depends which questionnaire you look in, of companies who are using AI, or at least use it a bit, but the vast majority are not using AI yet. Anshuman, what do you think will happen to companies who are not implementing AI? What is the scenario for them for the future?
So I think I'll come to that. Before that, I want to add one comment on the privacy, because that's very critical, right? So when you think of ChatGPT or many of these tools, these are like open. Anybody can go, they can ask questions. And Facebook also launched the Llama, and you can go and chat with it. But we have seen what Google does, Facebook does, right? So when you are getting a product for free, right? The product is not free. You are the product, right? So they are basically training their model based on your data, right? Whatever you are chatting, they're taking it and they're training their model, right? So be very careful. And because it is open model, your data, let's say Mark put something that they're training out their data on, and somebody else asks a question on Mark or his company, is gonna give that answer, right? This data now goes to somebody else, which you may not intend to, because you are chatting, you want to keep your data safe and secure, right? And we take it very seriously, right? In fact, we worked for almost a year on enhancing the privacy. So our platform is not an open platform, right? Anybody cannot just go and ask a question. It's a closed platform. So if you get a user ID password, you're gonna use it. And your data is not going anywhere, right? Only you are using it within your session, and then it's gone, right? No model is being trained on that. Nothing is happening outside what you are doing, right? So it's a closed platform where you go, you log in. It's like your private space, your home. Right, you have the lock and key. You go inside, you know what is inside my flat or home, and you come out, you close your door. That's it, right? Nobody has access to it. And privacy security is very important. I think for that, even we did a lot of things like security certificate to VPC to putting it on the cloud and having a lot of other things. And I think we take it very seriously. And as my friend told, I think every company should take it seriously. Whether you use a tool like ours or not, that's secondary. But even if you're doing in-house, I think you should take privacy security very seriously and just don't use another tool because it is free and easy. Now coming to your question, sorry, remind me a little bit. You asked
what happens to companies who are not
using AI.
Who say we don't need this, we don't want to use this.
So we have to talk that in the context of the geography and the industry, right? So I have worked in the industries like e-commerce and OTT. Let's say I work for some of the biggest e-commerce companies. I work for Disney and Sony who have OTT platform. Now in those industries, it's not a question of a choice, right? If you are an e-commerce player and people are coming to your platform, whether you are doing forecasting, you are doing pricing, you are doing personalization, you are doing digital marketing, you can't do with AI, right? So there are companies where it's like AI first, because if like so one company worked for in Singapore, we had 200 million users. Now if you have 200 million users and if you are doing marketing for them, right, and you want to send them coupon or promotion or personalized offer, you cannot simply do it for 200 million users manually, right? So it was not a question of choice to use AI or not to use AI. It was by default AI you have to use. If we talk of platform like OTT, Netflix, Disney Plus, or even Sony has a big platform in India, you cannot do it without AI, right? So those industries there was not a choice, right? E-commerce or OTT. Now there are other industries which are traditional industries, let's say FMCG or retail, or let's say manufacturing, healthcare. So some of these industries may have the data, right? And whether it will be good or bad will depend on the geography and the industry, right? So because it's a point of competition. Now I gave the example of Dubai Mall. I talked of the luxury brands, right? But if I go to Dubai Mall, even Mall of Emirates, I don't think any of the brands are personalizing their offering according my taste, choice, preferences, right? Because they're doing well, people are coming, buying stuff, they're making a lot of money, and because the competition is not doing it, it's not a matter of concern. Like say Dyer or LV or Gucci, if none of them are doing personalization for the user, you go to the shop, every shop you have to select your product. So it doesn't matter because you know that okay, I have to go to the shop, select my product. Even for restaurants, isn't it? Any restaurant you go, every restaurant you have to go and place your order, right? None of the restaurants says, hey Mark, I know your taste preference, I'll customize, right? So because nobody is doing in that particular geography or industry, till that time it will not matter, right? When it will matter, the moment some of them starts doing it, maybe some of them will attend your session, learn
So
about
the moment
AI.
it matters. If you are not participating, you are dying.
Absolutely.
So you're basically forced to do. But if you are in an area, in an industry where no one is doing it yet, you could be the front runner. But if you are not, it's not that horrible. Right?
Correct. And as we can predict probably that you are organizing this event and a lot of people are attending to it and similar things are happening globally. As people know, some of them will try. They'll like people sitting here, some of them will go back to their company. They'll say, okay, we have not used anything, but today we'll learn some example. Why don't you try? What will happen? Max, it will fail or it may work, right? And then they'll see the value. And once they see the value, they'll adapt. And I think it's a matter of time, right? So it may take some time in some geography and some industry. Others, the adoption will happen faster, right? But I think driving factor for that will be competition rather than technology itself. Because some of this technology has been there. It's not that it's not there. So it's a question of adoption, it is a question of urgency, and it is a question of competition.
Right. Do you have any questions to these three gentlemen? Any one of you?
Yeah, I think I have one.
Please.
Okay. Thinking forward to whatever you all have said, it was intriguing. Just wondering, I mean, how would AI futuristically help students, or if you have anything like from learning and development side, how do you help prospective students who are going to go into universities, looking at their records, marks, etc., their derivatives, interests? Would AI be able to propose their viable options of study and which area, which is their dominance, even your brain, how the brain activates? What are you, a numeric person? Are you a creative person? Are you a person who is in rote learning, or the person thinks out of the box? So how would do you think that's a relevant way of how AI possibly could help within universities, schools? And so
Basically,
I'm just thinking.
it It can help millions of teenagers who don't know what to do in their
Absolutely,
future
they don't know what to
to
do
find the right
next.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what to do next.
In my opinion, it will help. It will definitely help to let the person understand what the future could be. For one reason, the marks and the past of a person may depend on different variables. The teacher may be very harsh. The kid maybe doesn't like the teacher. Maybe he's a great student in mathematics, Einstein again, yet he was failing.
Correct.
Why? Because he wasn't
He's
performing
in
in that environment. So it was more the environment rather than him. So if we have AI, it will probably predict that he should do literature because he was failing. AI doesn't understand everything that comes
so you're saying
to.
it's not completely dependable. You cannot depend completely on the
Exactly.
AI.
In my opinion, the human counselor will always understand more.
I see.
Of course, it depends. The human counselor needs to be good and know about the environment and all this, but the questions that you ask a kid can actually tell you way more than a model could predict.
Right.
Based on the past results.
Because I'm thinking if you're going to apply something like that to education in the first place, like from nursery or from kindergarten, think what a big, huge amount of market space we have.
Absolutely,
yes. For doing things.
Yeah,
but as he says, we cannot depend completely on a machine to tell us.
I'll just piggyback quickly on Andrea. The most important thing is never forget that an AI is not the superhero of your story. It's the sidekick. It is there to give you information, to give you data, and it's up to you to decide. I would be very wary about saying that there is ever going to be a point where a human should 100% depend on AI. That should never happen, especially for such crucial decisions like education and future. It can take, if an AI takes my data, I would never be here where I am now. That's just judging by that. So it's important to help our kids learn to develop themselves, to showcase them what is possible, what is out there, and ignite the passion towards something. And that is the most important part. Not to say, okay, listen, I have these X amount of marks, codes, blah, blah, blah. What am I? You are not a machine. The human creativity knows no limits, but the AI creativity knows limits because it's created from data sets already existing. It cannot invent. So never forget that human is the first 10 steps and then comes the machine.
So it's yet to replace a lot of human skills actually, right? And we are still not in that space.
I don't think we will ever be in that space.
I just want to add to that, very good points. But I think we are talking based on what it is today, right? But the question is about the future also, right? Not just today, right? And we have to see the trajectory, right? If when I was working in the industry 5 years back, we thought AI is what? Like we're crunching numbers, right? 2 plus 2, we're doing Excel, this predicting, churn prediction and all. And that time AI could not do chatting as effectively as it is doing. My friend also mentioned about creativity. I used to tell this example a few years back during my lectures that AI cannot do creativity, humans can. But today I completely disagree because there is AI where you can use the AI to write poetry, AI to write blog, AI to create music. Of course, we did not discuss about it today, but that AI is there. It's not so popular, but you may have seen the deepfake videos, right? What are those deepfake videos? Example of creativity, isn't it? Like you take her face, mix with somebody else's face, take somebody's voice, and create a video. And future, we may even have a movie. If you have not seen, see those soda movies that is coming out, that tool is still being developed, right? It's not yet fully ready. But Hollywood is very scared. And I think you may have seen that all the writers and people went for strike in Hollywood for a long period. That's why we did not have enough Hollywood movies in the last 1 year because they're scared. And I worked at Sony, so I know very well.
When the last time that you can basically, in the future, you can take a book.
Yes, you can.
Put it into AI and a ready film is coming out of it, and you can see
exactly.
it without
So when,
needing any Hollywood actors.
When I was working at Sony, that was one of our projects. Then how do you write a script, right, using AI? And you see Hollywood writers are going on, strike because of that. Because if the studios are doing, script writing, that's like ultimate creativity. And I think that AI is already there. It's not widely adopted, right? Now, what else AI can do, it's a matter of time, I say, rather than yes or no. Because when we are working, one thing is creativity, we think AI cannot do, right? Another thing we thought like emotion, let's say AI cannot do, right? And we have created a tool where if I put your audio that you are speaking now, it can detect, or all of our audio, I don't know if you're recording or not, it can detect who spoke when Mark spoke, when Anshuman spoke, and what was their emotion. Was he happy or sad, or what was the emotion? Was he excited? Right now, that's emotion. Right? We think that emotion is something I cannot do, but it can do. It can do because we took a lot of time reading a lot of paper, and we thought, what is emotion? Emotion can be also defined with numbers, right? What is your like the pitch, the frequency, and the excitement in your voice, the arousal. Is it positive, negative? We can detect the emotion based on that, and AI can do it, right? So I think the potential is infinite, and I'll end this comment with the fact that there is a company called Neuralink. If you have not checked, you should check. That may make even entire education system obsolete. I'm not talking about just learning and career, right? Because we learned for 15 years, 20 years, here we are attending a conference trying to learn more, right? But if these companies succeed, what's going to happen? Let's say you want to learn about AI, you download all of that in a chip, and you just connect it to your brain, and you download the information, right? That's it. And the demo they have already done at MIT and some other places, and they have been successful, right? It's not, of course, widely again available or commercially available, but whatever knowledge you want, you just put in a chip and connect to your brain and download the information. If that can be done, what is education, right? Like we learn for 20 years maths, English, so many things, physics, chemistry. But if you download the data and can transfer to your brain, then you probably don't need an education system. A 5-year-old boy can download and he's ready for his life, isn't it? So a lot of comments were made, very good comment, but I think we're talking about as of today. But about tomorrow and the possibilities, I see it's gonna change immensely. Of course, will it be still super intelligent, know everything, do everything? No. That may not happen, or it will take long time. But a lot of things that we're talking about, creativity, emotion, or education, they may also see disruption in next, 2, 3, 10 years. We don't know.
Any other question from you?
One more question. To you, the question. See how this will be helping us to go for in L&D perspective to understand the gap analysis, especially skill gap analysis in an organization. You said about maybe in my company there is 10,000 people will be working. How it is challenging for us? Maybe they can monitor the KPIs, performance KPIs, and
yeah. So in gap analysis, there are different approaches. So it can start from interviews usually. So interviews with the manager, understand what the needs are. So what we need for the workforce to have, and then understand what the workforce has at the moment. So there are some things that, of course, we can use with AI in order to help us do that. But at the moment, that process is still very much manual, because AI could, understand what's the gap in something already there. So if we give AI to textbooks, we can get AI to understand the differences between the textbooks. But sometimes the skill gap is not something that is clear for all of us, and especially for the management, especially for the company direction and vision that may have changed since the department was created. So we want different training, so we need different skills. So I would say right now, AI can help 20% in the process. In the future, there may be more use cases, but I think it will always need some data to start from. So of course, we will need to give the skills needed for that role. And after that, if I have an LMS that can track every employee performance, then I will know each employee what they have to, perform better in or improve in order to reach that gap and to fill that gap. But for now, we still don't have much. I don't know if I answered the question.
Okay. One last question, if you want.
What kind of advice do you give to people so that they don't rely on AI, using AI 100%? We human beings, we need still to use our brain and be creative. So what kind of advice?
Good question.
Can I?
Yes, please.
Can I start answering, reconnecting me to creativity and emotions? So, as you said, absolutely, AI can now come up with music, come up with art, come up with anything. We never need to forget that what the output is came from an input. So AI didn't invent that. So that's the definition of creativity. Come up with something that doesn't exist. So, for example, if you go back in history, if Ford had AI, we would have very performing horses with like a perfect diet. We would never have cars. Why? Because cars come up from human creativity. What AI can do in music, for example, using the notes that have been written over the years and come up with something that has never been done, but it starts from what's already been created. So it will never be something that's completely original in terms of human creativity. I don't know. This is a very complex reasoning, but it's related to the real meaning of creativity. And so not starting from the demand, what the demand is asking, and giving the answer, which is kind of what AI does, because we start from data, we start from something that already exists, like a poet, and we create another poem. Maybe because I've read 300,000 poems, and so I know what to do, basically. I can use that same algorithm. And that's how you create what the demand asks. But what if I want to create something that doesn't exist? If I have a pizzeria and my sales go down because of COVID, AI will never tell me deliver. It's something, it's out of the scope of AI. AI may suggest something in order to improve the sales that already gave results in the past to maybe a different pizzeria in a different location, but it's related to what's already there. Creativity, in terms of human creativity, comes from nowhere. That's genius. The genius is not AI. And so that's, I think, the limit between AI and humans. And we need to realize that and go back to that. Because, of course, like, we can use AI to start from, brainstorm, have a lot of, analysis, and let them work on data, and then maybe go back to being just focus on creativity and connection. Because, of course, like in the example of the school, a counselor may see a kid and understand what it's going through, understand the struggles, understand the environment. AI will see the marks. AI will see the results. So also the school example, it will never be automated because they will never use LMSs. The education system is very difficult.
Sensitive, very sensitive.
Yes. So I can do that maybe in a company. I can understand the employee, what, maybe he's doing sales, but he should do HR. I can do that. schools are.
Yeah, with kids, it's a sensitive subject.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
If I
Anything
may
you want to
also-
add?
Yeah, because it's a very good question. I would not tell you do not rely on AI. Rely on AI the same way that you rely on books. So you gather your information, your data. You do not watch only one news channel and create your world idea and worldview out of that channel. So it's important to stay critical first of the data that you are receiving, to stay curious to see what else is there, and then form your own opinion. So it's not relying on AI to give you and shape your worldview and shape you as a person. It's about utilizing AI to get as much information as possible from various sources, various ChatGPTs. I mean, there are more than one. From various news channels, various books, YouTube, whatever. And that is going to form you as a person. And one thing that seems to be forgotten, the most powerful AI, in a sense of AI, so to speak, is our own brain. There is no computer which is more powerful than our brain. So fill it with your data, process it yourself, and create a worldview as you want.
Do you think that we need to educate people how to be limited with using AI? Because we don't want to end up like social media at the beginning. It's meant to be to connect people. Now it's not connecting people at all. So I think by overusing AI, we will become the robots.
You are very much right. You are very much right. No, that is a potential issue, definitely.
But I
Yeah,
think
that's the dark side of it. Yeah.
That is the dark side. Yes, correct. And how we can educate people is by speaking like this, keeping the information flowing, not silencing it behind overly complex technical terms, which is unnecessary. If you can't explain it like I'm five, then you don't know anything about it. So it's important to keep the information flowing, to keep yourself curious, and to speak with your peers and share the knowledge. You are right. It might very well come to the fact that we are going to, no, wait, let me ask ChatGPT, that we lose the humane touch. That is possible. But as long as there are people who are, quote unquote, fighting against it in order to keep AI regulated, ethically responsible, non-biased, then everything is going to be good.
and also,
Okay, one more.
also I think it's a tool. It's every tool we can use it well or not. The good thing about AI against social media is that social media came through individuals. So it came through mass adoption. AI is coming through corporate adoption. So it will actually get to mass adoption through the filter of companies that are actually way more careful to use something sometimes, but most of the times, there are regulations, there are filters that protect us, and so I think that filter will help us. But then, of course, as every other tool, it's how we use it. It's not a nature itself.
So Mark,
Very good.
Ask,
Okay.
one second last so we have 4 minutes, so I wanted to ask a second last question. So how you guys are applying AI in your day-to-day personal life or professional life? Just to give you an example, registration for this event, I don't know how others they registered, but from the platform I registered, it was name, email ID, and mobile number. How if it was little bit about the audience to do some analysis and customize your presentation accordingly, with all due respect to all the presentations, some were very informative, some were very boring. So to customize the audience, for example, I'm head of procurement and head of technological transformation also. The second question is linked with all everybody's asking about the
Very good advice for the future. Thank you.
okay. Awareness is everywhere. Everybody's talking about the AI. 2 months back, we were in Riyadh in CIPS Minaiman. Okay. 90% presenters were talking about the AI, and the more than 60% audience was busy on their WhatsApp, on social media. Nobody was listening. And remaining were over 55, 60 years, which they don't have anything with the AI. So awareness is there, but how you are focused about the knowledge transfer. For example, I'm head of technological transformation. So 80% I focus on the training of the people at the end who will be using the system, and rest I'm focusing, okay, which system will select, how it will be, sitting with our functionality and how it will be giving us the solution. So the second question is same, what everybody is asking about the knowledge, not only the awareness.
Okay, since the first question was about the presentation, I will let Dr. Gosh start. Since
I hope mine was not boring. Okay. So you were asking about awareness and implementation gap, something like that. And what was the first one?
The first one, for example, if you did some data analysis that who are the audience and
personalization,
it was more effective. I mean, this is my judgment.
So that one I think probably for Mark to take, and I'm sure they are planning. So for that, so I think
I can only say that it's a great idea and that we would love to do this. But technically wise, I need to point on you if this is possible or how this could be done. Yeah? Because,
so that's
it's a great idea, because then everyone who's coming, I mean, there will still be a diverse audience, but everyone who's coming is basically finding what he wants.
Correct. So I think on that, two things can be done actually, honestly, very practically speaking, right? One thing is that we can take some background. Generally, when I go to talk most places or even education institution, one thing I always ask that who is the audience, right? Because the comment that you made, the presentation is boring versus interesting. Not only depends on the presenter, right? Depends on the audience, right? What is interesting to you? Because you are doing a particular business, you are interested in certain thing. So somebody talks about your life, your business, your thing, you find it interesting, right? Because we are all at the end of this selfish human beings, right? We want to know at the end of the day, okay, we had a good session, but what was it for me, right? Everybody is interested in that, right? Okay, had a good evening, we had learned a lot of things, but how do I use it? What's in it for me, right? Everybody is thinking that way, and it's not possible to make everybody happy, because everybody has a different requirement, different life, different needs, isn't it? So definitely, I think good suggestion. One thing we can definitely do, get their probably industry or their interest in a structured format, right? That which industry, which function, or he's in procurement, like you're also in procurement.
Yes.
Actually, that's Mark's expertise area. You should watch his YouTube videos; they're fantastic. So if we get that information, we can do kind of matching, right? And second thing, which can go beyond that, which is something probably the common knowledge cannot do, is we can just get some audio or text from them that what they are interested in, right? When we have a form where we ask people like what you are interested in. Now, if that is a text data, that will be very difficult, right? Now, if you know hundreds of people have registered, if give it to Marinella or somebody, they have to spend so much time and effort going to the hundreds of text. That's difficult to process, and there I think NLP and generative AI can be very effective. So you can go through all the text and give you a summary that Mark, based on these thousands of text, this is the summary of it, and you can also ask that what topics people are interested in. It can tell you these are the topics they're interested in, and who in what industry are they interested in. So it gives you very good idea. So I can see a very good example of usage of recommendation personalization and also generative AI for doing this thing.
We will work together on this.
Yes, definitely. And the coming back to your question and her question, I think very important question. One thing is knowledge is there. How do I apply? And that is also linked to as an individual. At the company you are thinking, but also as an individual. So both of your question I see in a similar way. You are thinking now how is it useful for me, and she's also thinking how it is useful for me, and how do I progress and also keep myself safe from AI, right? With the revolution and all that is coming, right? So I would definitely say that application will happen if the time, effort, cost of AI is reasonable, and in addition to that, you get a business value, because as a business manager, at the end of the day, you have to justify the ROI. You may use 100 tools, but at some point of time, initially people are all hyped up. They are trying things to impress people, putting on the presentation, telling people, oh, you are doing AI, correct? But at the end of the day, your boss or somebody will ask, boss, you put this much money, what's the return, right? So when the ROI comes, and if it comes at a using something which is effective in terms of time, effort, money, that's where the adoption will also happen. And as I said, it is a matter of time, because what is happening, people are choosing tools and they're trying to use the tool, right? I think somebody said what we should start with is a problem. and then find what is the solution. What is happening. For example, there is a story, very nice story that there was a gentleman who lost who had a lot of money at his home, and he is not able to find, right? Or you can think probably at your home you are not able to find the key. A lot of money you put, you are not able to find. And this gentleman is going, there is a lamp post, and below that is searching something. And some other old man comes and asks, what are you searching? He says, okay, I'm searching my money. I lost it, I'm not able to find. Correct. And the old gentleman says, but where did you keep the money? Where is it? So he said that I kept it at the home. So why are you searching here? He said, in the home I don't have the light. I have the light here, so I'm searching here. So what is happening, because you have ChatGPT, I think I'll go and use it and solve my problem. It should happen the other way. You know your problem. ChatGPT doesn't know your problem and may not even solve it. So you understand your problem and then find out what solution will suit it, and then do it in a cost time effective manner which can give you the ROI. And quickly coming back to the lady's question, I think very foundational question, and we don't have to think that human have only creativity. If we think that that is the limiting, we are limiting ourselves, saying that that's only the defense we have against AI, that we have to be very creative, and not all of us are very creative. I'm personally not very creative, right? And we don't have to be creative. But what we can do, we can go back to the root. Today we talked about AI, artificial intelligence, but let me bring everybody back to intelligence, right? Now we never discussed, I think today we did not discuss, but what is intelligence fundamentally, right? And is intelligence is being replicated by AI or not? So if you want, of course, you can read that research by Howard Gardner. He has given the framework that intelligence has 9 components, 9 types of intelligence. One of them is logico-mathematical intelligence. Where is we do maths, we do something logical, right? That's one type of intelligence. And there is a second type of intelligence which is called linguistic intelligence. Let's say we are speaking, you are listening, you are understanding. So language. So AI was already better than humans in terms of logico-mathematical, right? But number crunching the Excel file can do, a human cannot do, right? Or it can add hundreds of thousands of big numbers. That part AI is already better. Let's not fight with AI, right? We know that. Second part, in terms of language, AI was not good, now getting better. So there are a lot of other type of intelligence, right? So if you're working in a company, you need interpersonal intelligence when you're working with people, right? You have intrapersonal intelligence, how do you understand yourself? You have natural intelligence, how do you understand nature? There's something called spatial intelligence. Like if you want to dance, that requires a different kind of intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence, right? So there is 5-6 other type of intelligence which AI is not good at and people are not even focusing. So I think that can be another area.
We must continue this at another point.
Yes,
because we are at the end of this panel discussion. But as I see, you are all watching very carefully. So please download or subscribe our YouTube channel, because here we have discussions like this every day. So you find a lot of videos where we discuss about AI topics with people like these 3 gentlemen, but also all our other experts on IXX. So please subscribe this. I think this will be very interesting for you. So this brings us to the end of this first IXX event here in Dubai. We will do this every 6 to 8 weeks. So you are welcome to join us anytime. Please also look at our website. There are all the time news. Subscribe our newsletters, which are coming twice per week. So we would be very happy to come closer to you and to everything what you want to know about AI. Also, if you have any wishes, what you want to learn about, what you want to hear about, we can also produce videos about this, and especially for our next event, if you have any special wishes, what you want to hear, please let us know. Everyone from you who is from procurement, like you, on the 22nd of August, so in about 3.5 weeks, we will have a procurement event here from the procurement channel, which is our second podcast where we have about procurement. So here we will also send you invitation in the coming days. So thank you very much for coming. Take some more food and see you hopefully at our next event and very soon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Let's just